Okay, guys, I have received your group activity. So let's talk about the answers of the following questions. So here we go. So what do you think the answer here? At price 16, there is a shortage because quantity demanded is, so recall your shortage characteristics and answer this question. So what is the answer here? Guys, can you hear me?
It's greater. It's greater. See?
So at 16,
Greater.
what happened? The quantity demanded is greater. Well done. How about the second one? At 20, there is a surplus because quantity demanded is
Less than.
answer A, right?
A.
Yeah, definitely.
Contrary. So, okay, here we go. So I'm just going to give you, because we already done with this graph stuff, so I'm going to tell you some tricks how you just, without making the graph, you can just guess what's going on and where is the shortage and how much is the shortage and where is the surplus and how much is the surplus. So if you look at this table, so you can find out there, can you find out where is quantity supplied is equal to quantity demanded in this area, right? You can also confirm this through your graph as well. So that would be your equilibrium price 18, equilibrium quantity 1000, right? And what we learned about the surplus and the shortage, and that is if the price is above the equilibrium, which means below the equilibrium price, there would be above, okay, below this condition here in table, because price is above the equilibrium price, there would be surplus. You can confirm that quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. Quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. And if you look at that characteristics of upper part of this table, that is, if the price is below the equilibrium point, this area, this part, you see, it's shortage. How? Because quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. Quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied, right? So these are some tricks which helps you to have a quick answer rather going into detailed stuff. You make a graph and then you find out where is surplus and where is shortage, right? And by the way, you can also find out how much is the surplus and how much is the shortage. So in this case, when price is above the equilibrium price, we have surplus, and how much is the surplus? Quantity supplied minus quantity demanded. How much? 1900 minus 500. Surplus is 1400 surplus, right? So I hope these all tricks will help you to answer our book example 8. So now can you give me the answer? Rather, making the graph and find out where is the equilibrium quantity and where is the equilibrium price. So can you answer me? What is the equilibrium price and what is the equilibrium quantity here?
Price 6 and quantity is 81.
Why? Because 81 is quantity supplied, 81 is quantity demanded, and price is 6. Right? And tell me, if the actual price or the market price were above the equilibrium price, what would drive the market towards equilibrium? Tell me. So which area we are targeting in this table? Above or below?
Above.
Below.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Right? Above price, right? You're right. In that sense, you're right. When price is above, if the market price is above the equilibrium price, what will happen? You see what will happen? Quantity supplied greater than quantity demanded. And that situation is called surplus, right? In surplus, then what you have to do? Lower the price till equilibrium price. So what would drive the market towards equilibrium? Lowering the price. So if you lower the price, let me change the color here. Here, if you lower the price, sorry. So if you lower the price here towards the equilibrium, it will go to the equilibrium price, causing quantity demanded equal to quantity supplied. Understand? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
How about the C? So we are doing this without making any graph, right? So all the mechanism are based on the graph. So I assume that you already make the graph. We already did make the graph. So we are just giving you a shortcut here as well. So if the actual price in the market were below the equilibrium price, so now in this case, we are targeting this section of the above section of this table. In that case, price is less than the equilibrium price. In this case, what's going on here? Quantity demanded is greater than quantity supplied. Demanded is greater than supplied. It means we're talking about here shortage. And what would drive the market towards equilibrium? What would drive the market towards equilibrium?
Increasing the price.
Very nice. So we have to go back like this. So price should be, so that is the managerial discussion here. As a manager of that company, or if you're a businessman, if there is a shortage, you increase the price. If there is a surplus, you decrease the price. Understand? Okay, now the hardest part, which we built all those, discussion of law of demand, law of supply, and equilibrium and market stuff, right? To just discuss this law. So law of supply and demand. So law of supply and demand is the claim that the price of any good adjusts to bring the quantity supplied and quantity demanded for the product into balance. It says no matter where is the market price right now, no matter is that one, ultimately it will go back to equilibrium. And that doesn't mean previous equilibrium. No. That means they will adjust themselves to market equilibrium. It means the equilibrium price can be changed. Can be changed. Okay? If, for example, previously the market price was 10, and due to supply and demand, what happened? The new market price or new equilibrium price would be 15. But if you compare with the older one, you would say that, okay, market is right now in surplus. Why? Because price is above the equilibrium price. No, my dear. This is a new equilibrium price. And what happened? Maybe there is a shift in demand, maybe there is a shift in supply, or maybe both shifted, or maybe there is one is shifted and one is movement along the curve, right? So this is a claim, law of supply and demand together is a claim that the price of any good adjusts itself to market equilibrium. And that doesn't state that the previous equilibrium, no. Every equilibrium is a new one. So let's talk about this. So we have rules. So there are 3 rules, fairly simple. First, you need to decide that this transaction or this sentence or this event, affects supply or demand. This belongs to supply or demand, so that you know that which shift I need to take care or which curve I need to take care. And then you decide direction of shift or movement, increase or decrease, right? Third, you find out that point on which demand and supply interact with each other, which means you need to find new equilibrium, right? New equilibrium. Simple 3-step process to finding out new equilibrium through law of supply and demand together. Number 1, make sure that you understand that this event belongs to demand curve or supply curve, right? Or both. And then you find out the directions, whether this event increases the supply or decreases the supply, or increases the demand or decreases the demand. And then you find out the new equilibrium. That's it, simple. Very simple. So some tidbits that if these appears in questions. Number 1, if the question mention sorry, a change in supply, you automatically assume that we're talking about shift. If the question mentioned change in quantity supplied, if there is a word of quantity supplied, that means we're talking about movement. Similarly with the demand, if the question